Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. God bless. Hey, Linda, number one. There you go. Hey, PG. Hey to you. Good to see you. Second to none. How you doing? Number two. Hey, PG and friends. God bless. Oh, Marlena, you are number three. Hey, PG and chat. God bless. Good to see you. Absolutely good to see you. And Chris, number four. Hello, PG. Much love. Much love to you guys. God bless. God bless. Good to see y'all. All right. Let me get down through here. Lisa, good to see you, girl. Laylee, how you doing? Catch them pearls. How you doing, my brother? Good to see you in here. Our bucket list has holes. Hello, PG and Summer's Army. Much love and prayers. Amen for Summer. God bless. Big ol' mom, how you doing, sweetie? Hey, just in. That is cute. It is what it is. Says PG. Much love. Much love to you, hun. Much love to you. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this, you guys. Hey, November Rain, how you doing, sweetie? Oh, that is a beautiful picture. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful avatar. Nerdy girl, how you doing? How you doing? Hello, PG and everyone. Oh, your avatar is beautiful too. Your avatar is beautiful as well. Virginia girl, how you doing? Says Summer's Army. Amen. Amen. Here's Patty Ponytail. Hey, PG. Much love and prayers. Butterfly kisses. Hello, PG in chat. Hello to you guys. Hello to you guys. Hey, Pam, I see you. There, Pam. CJ, how you doing, sweetie? Hello, PG chat. Much love. Pam says, hey, PG. All right, we're to the bottom. We're to the bottom. Yes. Yes. They're saying, how you doing? Hi, PG and chat. Love to all. Love to you. And there's Jam. Hey, how you doing, hun? Hey, PG. Hope you are well. Hey, girl. Doing good. Hope you're doing good as well. Hope you are doing good as well. There's Raising the Boondocks. Says, hey, PG in chat. Much love. Much love to you, honey. Much love to you. All right. I got some detail on Eli's case, right? On little Eli, 3-year-old, missing. On little Eli's case. You know, the mom and the stepdad, I guess, came forth and had some BS to say, right? They had some BS to say. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Trust me. Let me see. Trying to see if I can find it. Yeah. The police told investigators, the police say that the boyfriend, that mommy's boyfriend, which she only knew for about a month, and told investigators that the boy was afraid of him and he was disciplined using on timeouts, including being forced to stand 1 to 3 hours. 1 to 3. He's 3 years old, and this boyfriend was forcing this little feller to stand for 1 to 3 hours, um, requiring him to pray. Wow. A 3-year-old, you're going to punish a 3-year-old like that? The boyfriend also made Eli take a cold shower for dirtying his diaper and regularly threatened him with cold water for not complying with orders, according to the complaint. So the mom's boyfriend, this guy she only knew for about a month, she's leaving her child with for days, in order to abuse. She leaves her child with him to abuse, right? Yeah, something don't sound right there. Something does not sound right there. Um, no, hell no, no. Neither the mother or her boyfriend admitted to having anything to do with Eli's disappearance in the complaint. Right? Um, Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But anyhow, the mother. Oh, I'm bringing you up, Justin. There you are, sweetie. Good to see you. I can't hear you.
I was muted.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Hi.
I can
How
hear
are you?
you now. Good, good, good to see you.
Good
Can
to
you
see you.
believe that she
Oh,
dropped that baby off with some weirdo stranger she barely even knew and allowed him to torture this little boy, making him stand for hours at a time, making him stand and pray, making him repeat over and over and over, I'm sorry, mommy. I'm sorry, mommy. I'm sorry, mommy. And then puts him in a cold, ice cold shower because he had an accident. You know, what kind of sick, inhumane piece of crap? And he said he lay down for a nap at 8 a.m.
mhm.
and got up around 11 and found out that Eli was missing. I'm going to tell you something. I think he took a nap with that little boy and probably did something really sinister.
That, or I don't think he fed him. I actually don't think he fed him
Wow.
because he said I needed to change his diaper that morning, but he didn't. He was too tired. Let me tell you something. PG, chat, have you ever changed a diaper when you were too freaking tired? I know I have. I've
I'm
changed a
gonna,
lot of them when I'm too freaking tired. I've changed them with my eyes closed.
Amen. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you
You know,
three, as working parents and having children and everything, and all we do in a day, right? All we do in a day. Oh, hell yeah. We have drug ass up for those 2, 3 o'clock feedings, right? And then right back. And sometimes if your child's colicky, you're up all night walking the floor, right? You
all
feel like
night.
you are walking the floor,
Yes.
um, asleep. You don't
Yeah.
even know how you did it. You're just,
Uh,
you
yes.
know, oh man.
The thing that gets you through parenthood at those times is love. It's just
Hmm.
love. That is what gets you through it, the love for your child. Because
Absolutely.
we're exhausted at that point. It's tiring.
Hmm.
It's not fun to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and change diapers and all of that. But that's
Back up at
part of the
5.
job. That's
You
part of the
know,
job.
now it's time, by the time you get up at 5 o'clock, by the time you get the baby fed, diapered, and cleaned up and fed and everything, the baby goes back to sleep. But now the alarm clock's going off, and you got to get to work, and you got other children to get up and get ready, and you got to pull a full day. And baby, whether you're tired or not, you need to do it again, you
Yes,
know? And the most you can do is just pray that God gives you the strength to get it done. And you know what? He does.
he
He
does.
does. And
Oh
he
yeah.
gives you the strength to do it with love, kindness, and caring. You know,
Amen.
I'm going to tell you, every child you have, the second that doctor, the very second that that doctor lays that baby in your hands, it's like no one's ever going to pull it loose.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, it's like a bond beyond any bond
Yes.
that could ever be made.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you know, and I don't understand it. I don't, you know, the minute you see that child, God, you love it, right? You love that baby.
Absolutely.
And you can't wait to get that baby home. You can't wait to, you know, put it in his put it in his little bed and
Yes.
fill in all the baby book, right? The first time it did this, the first time it did that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's just every milestone. And then, you know, next thing you know, they're crawling and they're walking and they're
Mm-hmm.
talking, and you think, my God, you know, you're in tears because now they're going into the door of a school and you don't know what you're going to do without them because you're so used to having them around. You've had them
It's
around for,
hard. Oh my
right?
God. It's so
You've
hard.
had them for 5 years, and
Yes.
it's like a, you know, it's like a part of you got taken away when they
Mm-hmm.
walk through that door, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just want to you just want to keep them, you know. No,
Mm-hmm.
they can't go in there. And you worry. I mean, you worry the whole day until you pick them up again, right? You're
Yes.
a mess. You're a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's the way parents are supposed to be. I don't understand the ones who ain't. I just
How are
don't.
they treating this 3-year-old standing for 1 to 3 hours? And I guarantee you it was worse than that. If he
Oh, yeah,
admitted that,
right,
God only knows. God only knows what this animal did to this baby.
right. And, you know,
God. um,
they said that they said that he said, tried to change up from he was afraid of me to he respected me.
mhm,
Right? No, you can't change it once you said it, bastard.
that's
You
right.
can't. You cannot change it. They ain't no going back on that shit. Once it
No.
comes out your mouth, it's word. But you know that is terrible. Absolutely terrible. I personally believe that, you know, hopefully this animal breaks and tells what really happened to this baby,
Mhm.
and you know, and lets this baby, at least lets this baby find peace and rest. um
I hope they fry those mother chickens.
you know, his mother needs to go to prison as same as him
Oh,
for
absolutely.
you know, what I'm saying is, when you need, you know, you can't just drop your children off to people, and then, especially someone you've only known a month, you can't drop your, for one, she should be in jail for dropping her child off, a 3-year-old, to be disciplined. That to me, that is child abuse. To me,
First,
anyone that would drop a 3-year off to be disciplined, that is freaking child abuse.
you know what got me? Him saying that going back to your mother's house is a privilege.
Yes, yes. You know, I wonder I wonder if she was
Mm,
dropping that child off to him for more sinister reasons.
I don't know. I
Because
don't.
she left that baby there for a week. A
They
week. And
they say he's a trafficker.
she's like,
Mm,
oh, I thought I was going to pick him back up on Friday. Uh, oh my God. Right? Oh my God. You were going to go pick him up. You was leaving him with this savage that you don't even know for a week. I'm going to tell you, I really think there should be a law. you should not be allowed to leave your children with just anybody. There should be a law
Absolutely.
that there should be a law that you are responsible for your child even when someone else has them. And if anything happens to that child, you are going to take blame. Just like the person who has it, you're going to take blame. So be careful who you leave your children with.
Hmm.
You know,
You,
I think that should be law.
now it has to be almost because I mean it used to be common sense. You don't leave your
Yeah.
child with just anybody,
It
right?
used to be you left them with grandma, or you left them with, a sister, or you left them with a sister in law, or, you know, you left
Now
them with
there's no
family,
threshold or anything.
or you put them in a daycare, right?
Right.
You researched that daycare. You asked other parents about the daycare. You walk through the daycare. You do all the things that you're supposed to do.
Yep.
You look up this daycare and, you know, do thorough research upon it before you go dropping your children off there, to
That's
make
right.
sure that, you want to make sure that they're like the Hilton, right? Not like the Roach Hotel.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I don't know. And it's like people, it's like these people, they're having these children and not caring what happens to them. I have heard, the words I think that make me the sickest is when I hear a parent say, I need me time. They're
Right.
complaining. They're complaining on Facebook, or they're complaining to family, or they're complaining, to someone, that they need me time. I got kids and I so need some me time. Fuck your me time. When you freaking had those babies,
Me
your
time's
me
over.
time was over.
Hmm.
Your me
I
time
don't.
was over. It ain't about you when you bring a child into this world. It's about
Mhm.
that child now.
I
So
like being
forget
with my
you.
kids. I like to
Yeah,
be with my kids. I like to know
absolutely.
where they're at. I like them to be with me. Um,
Right.
when they're
Right.
not with me, that's when I worry. So
I'm going to tell you, you actually see parents out there on Facebook saying, you know, is anybody willing to watch my kids so I can get some me time? Right. What are you talking about? You
mhm,
know, um, you're out here on a public platform with a ton of people you don't even know, and you're asking weirdos if their doors open for your child. That's
mhm,
disgusting. That
it
is
is.
disgusting. But you know I'm going to tell you, you meet people today, and I promise you, this evening they'll drop their kid off to you, and you don't know if they're going to come back or not.
Mhm,
And they'll drop their kid off to you every day. They'll let you raise their kid if you will. If you will, you won't see these people for weeks, days, months
mhm,
at a time. You
yeah,
know, they'll have their kid at your house constantly because they're a shit parent, right?
mhm. They don't
It's called
care.
a shit parent.
Yes, that's right, Scorpio. Complete neglect.
And I just think you should know who you're leaving your children with. You know, everybody isn't going to treat your child as if it's their own. You know,
No,
I
many
do. When other people's children are in my presence, I treat them as if they're my own
same.
children. I watch over them. I look over them. I feed them, take care of them, do everything just like I would do for my own children.
If I buy my kids something and my kids' friends are with them, they
Absolutely.
get the same thing or they're
That's
not
right.
getting it.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter. We'll get it if they want something, that's like really expensive or something like that. They're not getting it that day. They're just not getting it that day. If I can't afford it for all of them, they're not all getting it. So
Exactly.
that's just the way it
Absolutely.
is. I don't ever want to make a kid feel, and so
Like it's left out.
yeah.
You should not ever make a child feel like, you know,
Hmm.
you just don't take your kids, as you said, if you can't afford it, You just do not take your kids shopping when other children are with you,
Yeah.
because those children see your children get stuff and they want something too.
Yes.
And, and it's just wrong.
Yep.
Um, I can't do that as well. If I
Can
take
do.
the kids to the park out for ice cream, everybody gets ice cream.
Everybody
Everybody
did.
goes, and like you said, if we go to, a fair or a carnival or something, I pay for just as many tickets for the children that's, with my kids as I do for my kids. I buy
1,000%.
everybody. When, if we stop, I buy everybody, funnel cakes,
The pops
everybody
or whatever
drinks,
they want. Yep.
everybody exactly, you know, and you don't leave no one out, no one out. It's just wrong. If you, when you, when you plan these kind of events, make sure you got enough money in your pocket to take care of everything and hope you have some to boot,
Yeah.
right? I
Well,
mean,
either do that or plan something that's not gonna cost you money. It's one or the other, but don't buy your
right,
kids something and
right,
not someone else. It's just not a good thing to
exactly.
do.
Going to the
Go to the
park
park. Yeah.
and out for ice cream don't cost much.
No.
Taking all the kids to McDonald's don't cost much, and they have the big tunnel things and toys and stuff they can play. And, it's just, there is a lot of things you can do that
Yeah.
doesn't cost much. You could take the kids swimming
Yep.
and then out for pizza that don't
Yep.
cost much.
Yeah. I take the kids swimming a lot, and there they let you bring pizza in or whatever. So we just
Right.
take pizza there. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Wow. You know, I worry. When I take the kids swimming, I take plenty of stuff to drink, but I
Yep.
don't take food because I'm afraid, you hear about these kids getting a cramp and drowning or something. So
Yeah.
I make sure, that I don't give them no food or anything. I make sure there's plenty to drink, keep them hydrated because it's hot out, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, and I keep an eye on those kids too. I keep an eye on the kids. I'm probably better than a lifeguard.
I
And
guarantee. I guarantee you. Yeah.
yeah, and then afterwards we go out for pizza, and and a lot of times come home the kids get to play some game machines or you know um, do whatever they want to do after that at the house. But
Fun
going
time.
to lie, I'm not going to lie, sometimes you are glad the parents pick the other kids up, right?
Oh, of course. Listen, it's hard. It is hard.
I'm not gonna lie. I cannot say that PG's perfect. I'm not,
None
because
of us are.
sometimes a full day with a bunch of kids, you are just so ready,
Yes.
so ready to just be able to calm down.
Yes. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Call your mama, honey. Let's get you out of here.
Yeah,
It's been a long day.
exactly, exactly. and you always have this one that doesn't want to
Want to
leave.
go? Yeah.
You always get this one that doesn't want to leave. It's
Yeah.
like they want to stay with you
Little,
forever.
yeah. Little Tommy, you can come back. You can come back.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry, you'll be back.
Yeah.
I'm sure of that.
Yeah. I mean, at
um,
my house, all the kids came to my house. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, like, and I had a friend. Her mom was a hoe and a drunk,
oh,
and she pretty much lived at my house. You know what I
right,
mean? The whole time, and
right.
you know, then there's a
Yeah,
lot of there's. I can't imagine the kids like that today. I can't
I think
imagine.
I think we all I think we all had friends like that that
Of
pretty
course.
much lived with us.
Hmm.
And you know, I can remember I can remember, like you have to go out with your family, right? You can't, your parents ain't leaving you home. At least mine wasn't.
Sure, yeah.
And, so if we went out to eat or we went out somewhere and we get back home, I'm telling you, ring, 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 your friend's ready to come straight over.
Yep,
Like, where you been? I'm on my way over. And it's like, oh my gosh.
yep,
you know, that's you wonder why they don't like their home. But like you said, when you start opening your eyes and ears and taking notes,
mhm,
you find out that their parents fight a lot. The kids are left alone a lot. They don't have a lot of food, and they're hanging at your house because they want to eat, right?
mhm,
They don't. They usually don't have a lot of clothes, so they're at your house because they want to go shopping, through your closet. Um, you know, they just it's sad. It's sad, absolutely sad to see that kind of environment, right?
it
But
absolutely is.
they exist. They exist.
It certainly
And
does.
I mean, I've actually had, you know, I've actually had kids that more than one that I think I raised them along with mine because that's how often, they lived at my home more than they were living at the parents.
Yeah,
And, but like you said, the parents were substance abusers, you know, and I had one little girl. Um, she stayed with my daughter. She was a real cute little girl, and my daughter was, I guess, around 5, 6 years old, and this little girl was wanting to, stay with her. She stayed with my daughter quite a few times,
mhm.
and I was helping her fix her hair, and um, she told me that, why I like staying here? And I said, no, sweetie, why you like staying here? I said, because I fix your hair better than your mommy. I was kidding with her. And she started laughing. I told her, I said, nobody can fix a little girl's hair like mommy, right? And
Mhm.
she said, my mommy don't fix my hair. And I was like, oh, well, maybe she's too busy. Maybe she has to do a lot of work and stuff. I said, but why? Why do you like to stay here? She said, because there's not needles all over your house. That's what she
Holy
said to me.
hell. Holy hell.
That's what she told me. She said she got stuck with one. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Right? That was insane. That was insane. And, you know, so I asked her mother, right? Um, I said, are you a diabetic?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, are you diabetic? And she's like, no, why are you? you know? And I said, no, I know some people that are.
Trying to
And
fill her
she's
out.
like, yeah, I was just trying to feel, if that's the reason that certain things are in the house. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right. Mhm.
And, you know, but as hard as it is, that's time to report, right?
Yeah.
That's time
Yeah.
you have to report. No child should be living like that.
God, no.
You have to pick up the phone and you have to do what's best for that child.
That's the number one way to pass a disease.
Absolutely. And that child should not have ever been subject to all of that.
Absolutely.
But she was the cutest, just the cutest little thing, and so talkative. And I mean, how a parent couldn't love a child so beautiful, I don't know. How they could, but her mother left her on me a lot. You
Mm.
know, I had her quite a bit, and I didn't mind because she was real well behaved, real polite, real sweet, and so I didn't mind at all.
Right.
But I did mind that I did mind that she was living in that environment and she had already been poked, and that's very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
We are Summer's Army. Hey, beautiful sunflower.
23
Absolutely.
months.
Number
Wow.
23 months. There we go. I appreciate the
Amazing.
support. God bless.
That's amazing. And I think of this, Jessica, and I think, why is someone that angry? What makes someone angry at a 3-year-old? What can a 3-year-old actually do? I mean, they've only been on the earth about 1,000 days. You know what I mean? 3 years.
Right.
They
Right.
learned. They only learned to walk a year ago or 2 years ago, right?
You know something.
And you're expecting them to
Um,
stand.
most most children, a lot of kids walk between, you know, on 10 months to a
Months to a
year.
year. Yeah.
But a lot don't. A lot of
Right.
kids, don't start walking till they're, 13, 14 months old,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they're wearing diapers, they're wearing diapers almost and pull-ups almost till they're 2. And I mean, they're barely getting out of their pull-ups at
Hmm.
2 years old. And at 3 years old, kids have accidents. Kids have accidents, right?
Listen, in kindergarten, kids have accidents
That's why,
occasionally.
right, right. And that's why as parents, we put the protected padded,
On the
um, you
mattresses and
know,
stuff. Yeah.
mattress cover on the beds, because we know accidents happen, and
Absolutely.
it's okay. It's okay, I mean, there's some children that actually have accidents at 7, 8, 9, 10. You know,
Yes.
there was a young man. Matter of fact, they made a movie of it, and he was um, he was like an Olympic runner. Do you know
Hmm.
the one I'm talking about? And he became a runner, and what allowed him to do that is his mother. His mother was really cruel, and he wetted the bed, and she would hang the sheet outside of his window, and he would have to run home. You know, like soon as the bell rung, he would fly from the school and not walk with the other kids, not have time he would run straight home before the kids come by his house and get that sheet out of the window.
Oh, wow. I
And
didn't
she
know.
did, yeah, and she did that for embarrassment. And that's what helped him to become who he is today, you know.
Wow.
But that's how can people be such monsters, you know? So the young man had he was a kid,
Yeah.
grade school kid, but he had, you know, an issue. Of course, he had an issue, but you know what? Why are you embarrassing him? Why are what kind of
Shaming a
parent?
kid breaks their soul.
Yes,
It
yes.
breaks their soul.
I mean, take that sheet off the bed, you old bee notch, and wash it
Throw it in
up
the
and dry
washer.
it right. Dry it and put it back on the child's bed, you know, or wait for him to get home and say, "Hey, you need to go up and make your bed up. I've washed the sheets and everything for you to do so." If she,
Sound like he might have had some childhood trauma because of old bitch.
yeah, I'm sure he
You
did.
know
If
what I
she
mean?
was mean
Yeah.
enough to hang his sheet out the window like that, you can only imagine what else she was doing to be
Yeah,
that mean, right?
childhood trauma can cause that,
Mm-hmm.
there's also health problems. But if your kid is normal and they're, especially boys, and they're urinating at 15 and 16, they might be a serial killer as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's that. We're in true crime here, so I just want to
You
put that
know,
in.
the thing is, like this other family, um, this woman, her and her husband were getting older, right? And the cutoff date for them to adopt children was coming to almost to an end. And they already had one little boy, and they wanted a playmate for him, so they settled for this other little boy.
Hmm.
And this woman was abused that little boy
Oh,
something fierce to the point that she finally had kicked him down some basement stairs.
what?
And yeah, and he actually, and she unlived him. She unlived this little boy. And his mother, years later, the only reason they paid for their crime is because years later, his mother, who had gave him up because she couldn't afford to keep him, she was a teenager,
Hmm.
came back into the picture, wanting to look him up just to see how he was faring and everything, and to try to make her family complete, right? And she found out. No one ever told her that her little boy had passed like that. And she found out and started digging into it, and she's the reason they got prosecuted. The other little boy that was raised with him,
Hmm.
um, told told the whole story of how cruel. And once the other little boy told how cruel this woman was, even her husband came forth and and said, yeah, you know she was unbelievable.
That's terrible.
But they put this little boy away, and this old bitch got nothing for years and years and years. She thought she got away with it. Um, she got no time or anything, for what happened to that child until the mother came back into the picture. Go figure.
I don't know,
Her and
man.
her husband were upstanding citizens, in the community. And, it was just a crying shame what had happened. And I mean, she was sitting there letting all these people bring food and treat her like, um, it was sickening. It was sickening, right?
Hmm. Hey,
Yeah,
Smiley. Hey, Ryan.
absolutely sickening. Hey, Smiley, how you doing, sweetie? Hello, everyone. Showing some love. Hey, girl, we're sending some love back your way. God bless. God bless. But yeah, it was absolutely horrible. There is so many children that are, you know, not just neglected and abused, but so many destroyed completely. Like Quentin. Um, I truly believe we're going to find out Eli was as well.
Hmm.
And like the little 11-year-old, right? Audrey.
Hmm.
Um, I think we'll find out Summer is no longer with us also.
Yeah.
Um, just so many children are being destroyed every single day. And this isn't something new. It's not something new. It has been going on, you know, seems like forever. But for some reason it's more widespread now than ever before. Children being neglected, abused, and
Drugs.
completely destroyed is starting to pick up. um, something fierce. It's scary to see how many are getting done like this. And
Yeah.
it's even scarier to see that the people that, the criminals behind it are not getting what they really deserve for doing such a heinous crime. That's what's bothering me.
It's
I don't
absolutely.
think the laws are stiff enough for people who destroy children.
Oh, it's not. It's not. I think it should be death.
Like Eli, they just barely gave him back. They should not have give him back to that bitch.
I agree.
Look what happened to him now. She was evil. She was evil. She did not care about that. But she had the audacity to sit there and say, "Oh, well, I told him ways I didn't want Eli, punished, but anything else he did was fine." What? I'm going to tell you something.
Insane.
You better not punish my child at all in any way, form, or how. Period. For one, I wouldn't have left my child with some piece of shit that I haven't known more than 30 days. Right? I
Exactly.
wouldn't have done it. Mm-mm. These people, I don't know what's wrong with the brains of some people in this world. Hey, Nurse Cindy, 24 months, celebrating 2 years with PG. God bless. God bless.
Oh, let
I
Nurse Sandy.
appreciate the support. What's going on?
Nurse Sandy's amazing.
Oh, yeah. She's a sweetheart. Absolute sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand Eli's case, but when I seen that today, I was like, "Oh my God."
I got
It's
sick when I saw it. I just couldn't even believe it. You know what I mean?
absolutely. I'm going to tell you, Justin, when you're out here doing what we do, sometimes you feel like you just want to drop to your knees and cry like a child, right? You just want to drop to your knees and cry like a child because you cannot understand how people
Yep.
abuse these children and destroy them the way they do. You have so much mercy and heart and love and kindness for every child in the world, and you
Mm.
just cannot understand it. And here you are in the mix of it, right? I mean, Harmony's trial was one of the hardest things
Oh
in this
God.
whole world to even watch, right?
Uh,
It was, oh my God. Um, it's like, I promise you, I mean, you felt like with her trial, you felt like you needed to find, a good head doctor and lay on the sofa, right?
oh, absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
what you felt like.
Hmm.
That not to be, not to be rude or anything, but oh my God, I could not believe that these two people got away with what they did for so long. I cannot believe
2 years.
the pain and the misery and the suffering and all the things they put this poor little child through. And I hate to say it, but I truly believe with the Wells boys saying, can we see the judge? If not, can we write a letter? Because we don't want to go back. Please don't take us back. We don't ever want to go back. I mean, that tells me, that tells me, you know, my God, what did Summer go through? What did Summer go through?
I I really. Uh.
You know, I feel like if they found Summer tomorrow, I feel like it'd be worse than Harmony's case. If you ask me, I feel it would be even worse. You want to talk about something that will be hard to set through? Oh my God. I don't think we could, Justin. I
Uh,
really don't think we could.
I tell you, with Summers, I'm gonna do my best to be there. I'm going to do my best. It's gonna be hard, but I I want to look at those mother truckers.
Right in the face.
Yep,
Right in the face.
yeah, told you.
You know something? I think that's the day that everybody will know who PG is, right?
Yeah, hey,
I think so. I think so. I
we'll go
think
out to lunch
so.
after that.
Amen. Amen. Absolutely. Go to lunch. Go to, oh no. Oh
See how much
no.
God
We're,
isn't done.
we are going to rent. We are going to rent out a place and throw the biggest party ever for Summer's Army.
Yes,
Biggest party ever that these son of a bitches finally got prosecuted and put where they deserve to be. Right?
amen. God, God, I know. It's
That's exactly what we'll be doing. No
it's
doubt in PG's mind.
been way too long.
Amen. Man, that'll be like heaven on earth, right?
Yeah, 'cause it's just too much.
Yes, absolutely. They said, I'll be there. I'll be there. Amen. I tell you what, I know y'all gonna be there. I know y'all gonna be there if me and Justin has to get a bus and pick you up.
That's right.
If we
That's
have to
right.
get a bus and pick you up, we're bringing you.
That's right.
We're bringing you guys. Right?
It's just so, I don't know. It's so sad. Did you see what Candace wrote in Day Days the other day?
Candace has been writing so much.
Let me read it. Let me read it. Hold on, I've got it here because I'm going to make a community post about it. It is the absolute nerve of this
Oh,
buffoon.
she was talking about Harmony's case, right?
Uh,
That's
yeah,
the post she made on Harmony's case.
she
She
said,
has she has the fucking audacity to talk about someone else.
this is quote unquote, can. There should be a law if they do things to a child of any form, they should make them get fixed so they can't have no more kids. Pot, meet kettle.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
She,
PG, how will I get there? I'm in Australia. I hate flying. Girl, we have to get you on a boat.
yeah,
We have to get you on a boat.
yes. Uh, this is also what she wrote before. This is a Well, I spoke to the boys last night and they told me and their counselor that they don't want to come back with me and Dawn. That's an old
Yeah.
message.
Yeah.
That says something right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It tells how abused they were. I mean,
Candace has
the
given
way he
life
talked
to
to that
7.
grandson, the way he talked to that grandson, you could only imagine what his boys went through,
Oh,
right? I
oh,
mean, he was threatening the grandson, and I'm sure, you know, the boys, the boys didn't even get the threat. They just got what he was threatening to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
77. The one where she said the boys didn't want to come home is an old post, but the post where she said they should get fixed is from just the other night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When do they go back to court for the kids?
And they
I
don't.
think it's done. I think it's
They
more
don't.
than done. I mean, we're at almost 3 years here.
They
You know what I mean?
they took those kids permanently.
Yeah,
Permanently.
yeah,
Mm,
it's over.
They when Don got out of jail, they had they had, I think, one court date after he got out of jail, and that was to take the kids permanently,
Yeah,
completely, until they're 18. Until they're 18.
yeah,
I knew that, and when they said they had other court dates, this and that, go back on the lives and you'll see where I said, hey, that's for Don's probation, that's for Donald's this, one thing and another. I knew it wasn't about the boys,
yeah,
because the boys had already previously been taken completely,
mhm, yeah,
out of their care and awarded to the state. Absolutely.
yeah. Those days are over. They're done with that.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Real smart, right? Real
she's
smart. Candace said the boogeyman's going to get you to her grandson. Yeah, that's about her mentality level. And that's the kind of stuff they probably said to, they were saying to the boys and to Summer, especially Summer, and that's exactly why
um,
I I do not believe the Summer ever went down into that basement.
PG. You know that man that lived with Don, Candace, and Pam, that was the Arkansas child R.
Yeah, that was actually
He was the boogeyman.
That was Pam's daughter's husband.
Yeah,
That
one
was
of them was. Yep,
Yeah,
one of them was. Yep.
that was Pam's daughter's husband. Her, not Margie, not the one that's Don's biological daughter.
Yeah,
When he married Pam, Pam already had a couple
correct.
kids,
Yep.
and it was her biological daughter's
Yes. And
husband
Smiley, he did. Yes, Don
that
said
was
he
doing
scared
that.
Summer. He said he scared Summer all the time. He'd say,
Mm-hmm.
so
Absolutely. You
sick.
know, and you could tell they was sick because uh, Donald was like, she was down by the driveway behind one of the vehicles, and I snuck down there and scared her.
Yeah, scared her
Um,
behind the truck.
and I'm thinking, that's real smart, right? That's real intelligent to scare the crap up out of your child like that. For why? Children are very, very intelligent.
Mm,
Children are so smart. You take a 5-year-old child, the only thing you have to do is sit down with that child, right? Sit
mhm,
down with it and be playing a matching game with it, or be playing, um, in the dollhouse, or be playing, a video game or whatever with this child. And while you're playing the game or whatever, you sit down with this child and you explain to this child, this is dangerous or that is dangerous. You shouldn't be doing this or you shouldn't be doing that because of these reasons.
mhm,
You know, that child listens.
mhm.
And you don't have to worry about the child doing it no more. You don't have to worry about it,
Yeah,
because when you talk to a child and you let it know, hey, I love you, I care about you, I only want the best for you. You understand that, right? And they
yeah,
always say, yeah. And you
yeah,
say, well, this is the reason that I'm telling you not to do this and not to do that, and so forth and so on. It's because, this or this or this could happen to you, and I need you to always be with me. I don't want you to be hurt. The
Absolutely.
child, children can sense the love, but they can also sense the fear in
Yes.
you for them.
Hmm.
And that fear coming off of you for them will keep them from doing what
Yeah.
you have just warned them against doing. You do
Yes.
not have to be hateful. You do not have to be
No.
ugly. Children, I'm going to tell you, children are little people. They got their own little minds, their own little ways. You know, don't expect your kids to be you.
Miss Justice just said, and when they were on the Ferris wheel, I don't know what she was talking about, but I remember that video, Don saying, remember, like the Ferris wheel was breaking or something like
Right,
that. He's
right.
like, "Oh, we're gonna fall, we're gonna die," and everything
Yeah,
like that. And I thought,
exactly.
God, you're such a freaking idiot to scare your
Right,
kids like that.
exactly. Exactly.
They're like, "Oh my God, Daddy, are we gonna fall?"
Yeah. He doesn't, when you're up that high and you have children with you and one of them says, "Are we going to fall?" You say, "No,
Yeah,
absolutely not. God's with us, and we're going to be just fine." And
yeah.
when,
I'm sure
and
everything
when
will
we
be
get down
fine.
there, when they let us off, we're going to make sure everyone else is just fine by letting them know that no one
Yeah,
else needs to be sitting in the seat
yeah,
until it's fixed. But we're going to be fine.
yeah.
Always feed
De-escalate
people
the
the
situation.
positive.
Don't escalate it.
Well, you should, here's the thing.
That's right, Carla.
When people are in distress, right? When people are in distress, their heart rate is already going up.
Yeah.
You know, you want to feed them positive to bring down, that heart rate, calm their mind, calm their body, calm their soul. You know, when you're holding someone's hand that needs you, you always feed them the positive, regardless of what you're feeling yourself, regardless of how much fear you're in. You got to keep your shit together.
Yes.
You got to keep your shit together, and you got to tell them everything's going to be okay, because you know what? More than likely it will.
Hmm.
More than likely. Like, usually 99 times out of 100,
Hmm.
it's going to be okay,
That's right.
you know? And if you truly believe in God and you're truly praying as hard as you can, it's going to be 100%. It's
Yeah.
okay, you know? So always feed people, don't sit there and make them worse than what they already are. They don't need that shit. Nobody needs that shit. People always need positive feedback, right?
Absolutely. Especially kids.
I mean, exactly, unless the shirt really is ugly, right? Or the shoes really don't match,
Right.
then you might have to speak up. You
Right.
know, your shirt's ugly, your shoes don't match. You might want to think about changing, you know. But
Yeah.
if we all know, common sense tells you when, when you can make jokes and or be honest, and when you really need to, you know, give them all the hope that you're hoping
Hmm.
for them. You know, you just what I'm saying is, I really think when you feed positive into a person, like, you take somebody that's sick, right?
Yep.
And you're taking care of them. And you keep telling them, "Oh, you're looking better. You're going to be well in just no time." And and your this chicken noodle soup, it puts you back on your feet quick. Oh, so and so had this, and it only lasted a couple of days. And when you feed them the positive, they do start looking better. they
Yes.
do start getting well.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
And they,
oh, it's like when they get a scrape or something. Oh, it's not as
right,
bad. It's not that bad. You're good. Something, it's
yeah.
like,
Hey, that's a war wound. You should be
yeah,
proud of that.
yeah, yeah.
Look, and then somebody comes by or comes up. Hey, look at that war wound right there. Ain't
Right,
that a good
right.
one?
The
You remember
trouble.
yours when you was a kid? You know, and it makes the kid not care. It makes the kid, and it heals up in no time, and it was fine.
Mhm.
Always feed people the positive because positive is healing. Positive is healing, folks. If you really love someone and you want them to heal from anything, feed them all the positive and see how much better they get so quick.
Mhm.
See how much better they get so quickly because
Yeah.
you have breathed life into them and calmness
It's like
and
when you go into
stability.
surgery. They
Yeah.
want they want older people especially to go into surgery with a
Oh yeah.
positive mind,
Hmm.
because it really makes a difference.
I'm going to tell you, absolutely. People's going into surgery, you hold their hand, tell them everything's going to be fine. Get in there, get it done. You're going to be good. Don't worry. And, let them know God's with you. God's with you. He's already went before you. Jesus is going with you. Angels are watching over you. Don't worry. Everything's going to
Yeah.
be good. And I'm going to be out here with everyone else praying to make sure it is. And that person will come through with flying colors,
Yep.
right? No problems. Why? Because you breathe positive thoughts into them. And most of all, you kept the doors of heaven open with them prayers that you promised when they went in there. Always do good for people. Always do good. Try to do good in this life. You know, you
Exactly.
just your smile can make someone else's day. A wave of your hand could make someone else's day. A kind word can make someone else's day, right?
Absolutely.
You the littlest things can make someone's day, right? I
Absolutely.
mean, you know, I hate to say it, but I got tons of friends, right? In our community, tons of them. Um, I got a girlfriend. She was out working in her yard, right?
Mhm.
I went out getting in my car and I whistled at her. I said, she thought that was funny. I said,
Mhm.
"Boy, you looking sexy today, girl." Right? She laughed and laughed and laughed. It made her day. Right?
Right.
She was having a rough time, you know, having to rake up, rake up leaves and pick up and do some things that whatever she was doing out there. You could tell it wasn't, no easy task. But you know, it made her day. And I told her, when I get back, if you're still out here, I'll help you. Right?
Right.
Always offer a lending hand. Always offer a lending hand.
That's what it should
I
be.
mean, if I wasn't off, if it wasn't important for me to be where I needed to be that day, I would have I would have dropped everything and helped her right then and there because that's who I am. But
Sure.
you know, I had to get somewhere, and that was super important. But when I got back, she she wasn't out there. She wasn't out there. She's probably in the house. She's probably in the house having a cold iced tea or something. I don't know. Maybe a cold one. I don't know what she's doing. But she wasn't out there. But if she would have been, I would have been out. Pull my sleeves up and let's do it. Right?
Exactly. You do what you can when you can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you see somebody's car stalled and they're you know, one or two people and they can't seem to get it going, you jump out, man. You jump out. You take hands on there and you help roll, right? You
Mhm.
help roll that thing. I don't care where it's going. You help move it. That that's what you do.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's what you would want if it was you. So do what you want others to do, right?
Yeah.
That's the way life is. You know, um, last night, last night, um, well, everybody knows about last night, right?
He was slow last night.
Everybody
That was
knows about last night.
that
I
was
don't.
the best drag of 2023 and 2024. PG
I'm
could
like,
drag like no other.
oh
Nobody.
God, I, yeah.
You was dragging for filth last night, girl. You was like, "Come on, honey. Here's your hair. Let me pull it."
It went all unfiltered. Trust me, it was not good. But what I took note of at the time, it all went down. Cause today I was thinking, I had to been onto something. I had to been onto something
Yeah.
because when these people do what they did, like last night, the Wells are definitely behind it, right?
Oh,
Donnie
of
and
course.
Candace are behind everything. They've got their monkeys out here. And so I figured, this freaking flying monkey from the Wizard of Oz comes flying into my backstage, you know, acting out like a total backside wiper. And
Well,
I
just notice how you're live right now and someone else is live and
oh
you're not
yeah,
getting any messages. It's
oh yeah,
amazing, isn't it?
absolutely. But I'm gonna tell you what, um, I tell you what, she's watching her P's and Q's because her backside's already in hot water, right?
Mhm.
That's what's cooling that backside
Mhm.
because she knows she's about to, it's about to all be gone, and you know, so she's trying to let things cool off. I mean, she's over there simmering, right? That behind simmering in that big freaking chair, but yeah, and she's just trying to let it, you know. Oh, she'd love to say something. Trust me, trust me, but she can't.
Mhm.
Right? She can't. So,
Mhm.
but when I lost it last night over, over what they was doing to this family in Ohio, and then Martha and her son and them in Tennessee, and what they've done to so many others, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you
But
remember
PG,
that
you
lady?
don't bother anybody in their real life. I
No,
don't
I
wanna
don't.
bother anybody in their real life.
No,
I
no.
just wanna sit here and do these cases for these children.
Right.
That's all
You
I'm
know,
here for. That is it. And
but
to know
even,
myself,
but
I
out
don't
here,
wanna intrude with anybody's life.
well, we all know as YouTubers, I don't like to call us creators because I've only got one, and that's God. But as YouTubers, we all know we ain't gonna get along all the time. We ain't gonna get along all the time. We're gonna have our little spat here, and we're gonna have our little spat there, and you might make a little, something meme or something of PG, and I might make a little one of you, and
Mhm,
we're gonna have our little spats, right?
mhm.
And then what do? We come together again, we hug it out, and everything's fine. I
Yeah,
mean, that's what, that's just what we do. We don't take it real life. I mean, it's just, oh yeah, you want to say that about me? Well, just wait till what I say, and it don't mean nothing. It
right,
doesn't mean a hill of freaking beans,
right.
you know? And but when you start going real life on people, that makes a hill of beans, right? That
Yes.
makes a hill of beans right there. When you start saying, "Oh, I'm going to call CPS on people's kids, and I'm going to, and I'm going to look up, all their private information, and I'm going to, do all of these crazy things to people." Um, that's freaking insane. You done went too far now.
Yes.
You done stepped over the freaking lines, and they stepped over the lines with innocent people, which is even worse.
Or they,
That's
yeah,
even
they're not
worse
even they're
because
not even on the platform or
these
anything.
people ain't even on guard
I mean, it's
for
been like, I mean,
what
you've
could
been
come at
30
them.
people already. You know what I mean? At least 30 people. Kathy, Martha, uh, you know,
I have been Dusty Butt
Barbara Ann.
Margaret. I have been Dusty Butt Margaret. I have been what's that other lady's name? Patricia Dean. I
Yeah.
have been, do you remember that woman Dusty?
No.
The one that passed away. She wanted to talk to Benny before she passed away. She was
Yes.
begging to
No.
talk to
Yeah.
Benny.
Long time ago.
Yeah. Do you know they even attacked that lady trying to say she was
Yeah.
PG?
Yeah. I
And
remember that.
I had to go up and clear her
Yeah.
so they would leave her. And this woman was,
She
had
was sick.
medical
She
issues,
was really sick.
and they did this to her.
Hmm.
These people have no freaking heart. They have no morals. They have, that's just fucking evil. It's evil when you do stuff like that to
Yeah.
innocent human beings. They're like, "Oh, PG's Del Terry. That's the new one. I'm supposed to be Del Terry." No, I'm
I know
afraid
you're
not.
not Dale Terry for 100%.
Absolutely not. You know, Del Terry's already out there, right?
Right.
And if I was Del Terry, my ass would be out there, right? Because she's
Mhm.
already exposed herself. No, PG is not Del Terry. You know, and I try to tell these people, this isn't me. This isn't me. You know, and I actually put a public announcement on Facebook. You know, and writing that these people are not me in Ohio. They're not me in Tennessee. They're not me. None of these people is PG. And and that's all I have to do to protect myself.
Yeah.
That's all I have to do. This ain't my sins. I'm not taking credit to be none of these people. I'm not trying to hide behind any of these people. I'm being transparent and honest
Ryan
up
says,
front.
PG, next month you should announce that you're Elvis.
Yeah. They said PG is Tim Mullins. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, maybe, maybe. All
Yeah,
right.
guys, for damn sure you're not.
it's better
Yeah.
than it's better than being called some of those people.
Oh,
Right?
God.
At least Tim, at least Tim looks like he takes a bath and dress nice.
Yeah.
At least he's got half a brain, right?
Hmm.
None of the rest got any.
Exactly.
I don't know.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, Elvis has done left the building.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hmm.
There will be peace in the
They said,
valley.
PG, you're my real mama. That's right, blue eyed dumplings. That's exactly right. I'm
We
everybody.
are family. Ba-da-ba-da.
Yeah, we are family.
Yeah.
All my brothers, sisters, and me.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
Justin gonna get PG up here jamming. I'm gonna
I
be
like
jamming.
when PG sings, Mr. Bombastic, very fantastic.
Mr.
Mr.
Romantic.
Romantic. I went and watched that video after you sung that.
That's hilarious. But the thing I noticed, you know,
Kathy.
last night when everything, went to left field
Mhm.
was Candace was up on the screen looking straight up from the back door at Grandma's camper, proving that you could see from right down where the back door is, or the basement door, from the camper, right?
Mhm.
There you go. That's exactly what was on panel at that particular time. Exactly what was on panel at that particular time. Did you see where Andrew put out Allie's
Yes.
certificate?
Mhm.
Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about that tonight. Here it is. Um, I
Hey,
mean,
I'm gonna switch devices. I'll be back in just a minute, okay?
okay.
I'm gonna switch devices.
I didn't. I did not. I did not put the whole sheet out. Andrew put it out, but I didn't because it had some information that really ain't none of our concern. So I just, I broke it down. I broke it down to the important parts, and it shows right here. She was only 37 years old, age 37. Years old, and it definitely is Allison, right? And she, you know, date of death is 1/19/2024. 1/19 of 2024. January 19th of 2024. She was too young to go out of this world, right? Just too young to go out of this world. That was so sad. But I also, right there, a lot of people said she was married. I was hearing that she was supposed to still be married to someone. They said no. She was legally divorced. She was not married to anyone at the time. The time she became unlived. Um, and the cause right here of her death was pneumonia with sepsis. Um, she had set up the pneumonia had caused a real serious infection to set in. If she would have been taken to the hospital earlier, they would have been able to give her fluids and antibiotics, and she probably would have been okay. But what happened is the sepsis can lead, it speeds up your heart and everything, and it can lead to cardiac arrest, right? That it can lead to cardiac arrest. And that's pretty much what took her out of the world. So, you know, that's what it is. She was in there for 12 days. 12 days. Um, she had been kept in there. But yeah, I wanted to I just wanted to verify with everybody that Allie is true, that Allie is not no longer with us. Now, did she take any secrets about what happened June 15th, 2021 with her when she left this world? Mm, I would say yes. I would say Allie knew a whole lot more than she told. It seemed like Allie was holding back. It seemed like she was holding back something a lot. It seemed like she was holding back. It seemed to me like Allie was holding back something that was really super important in Summer's case. I mean, that's the feeling I got. If that's the feeling you got, put a one in the chat. If you feel that I felt she could told us a whole lot more than what she was telling us. I felt like she was holding some really important details back from Summer's case. If you feel that way, please put a one in the chat. And, I just can't help it. That's, every time I heard her talk, and even when she was on our panel talking, I, you know, I always, especially with Chris M., I just got this feeling that she was, hiding something that could have really helped solve Summer's case, you know? So, and, I'm going to play something that really has has bothered me personally. It has bothered me about Summer's case, quite a bit when she was talking to Chris M. And I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to pull that up so you guys can listen to it. Here it is.
For you that day. Walk me through what you remember.
I remember her showing up that morning.
And what time was that?
About 10, between 10 and 10:30.
All right.
She asked if Hunter could go fishing with her in Summer because her mother was in the emergency room because of her knee.
Okay.
Because I guess a couple weeks back, I took her a trip to Gatlinburg and the boys were kicking the grandmother in the knee.
Oh my.
She didn't have the boys with them that day.
She didn't have any of the boys.
So it was just Summer and Candace.
And
Grandma.
Yep.
Was Grandma in the truck as well? Or in the vehicle?
Not when they first picked Hunter up, no.
Okay. So she comes over.
She was at the hospital.
Okay, so she comes over. What vehicle is she driving?
She was driving her mom's Silverado.
Okay, that's what I remember you saying. That's why I said truck. Okay, so she pulls up, and does she stop where? Right out front.
Between the pole and my mailbox.
Okay.
To pick Hunter up.
All right.
She came in, she goes, "Can Hunter go fishing with me for a little while?" I said, "Sure."
Did she text you before?
No, she just
showed up.
Yep.
How did that strike you?
She was always trying to show up and talk to me. She was the first, when me and her stopped talking, she was stopping by my mom's. Talking to the kids, talking to my mom, unexpectedly, And, I didn't think anything of it at that time. I'm like, okay, yeah, Hunter can go fishing. He loves Summer to death. That's like his little sister.
They're buds.
Yep. She's like a daughter to me. And, I didn't hear from him for a while. She dropped Hunter off between 2 and 2:30, right where your truck is.
Okay.
But her front end was facing the telephone pole.
So she's going this direction?
Yes.
Okay.
When she dropped Hunter off, it was her mom, Hunter, and Summer. And Summer was leaning against 2 gallons of milk.
Okay.
I said, "Oh, look at her." I asked her how Summer was, and she was sleeping.
What side of the back seat was she at? Do you remember?
Hunter was on the driver's side, and Summer was right there in the middle.
Okay, so it made sense if she's pulling this way that Hunter's going to get out on this side. Okay, it makes sense. Okay. And so she's on the other side or in the middle?
She's in the middle.
Okay.
Like against the milk. Gallons of milk.
Yep, against the 2 gallons of milk.
Okay.
And I said, "Oh, look at her." I said, "Isn't she hot?" I said, "I wish I could wake her up and, give her a hug." No.
Now, take note that Grandbun, who wasn't even there, she wasn't even there when Hunter got dropped off. Grandbun wasn't there to see anything. But Grandbun was leading. Right? The conversation. She was against the milks, she says. Right? No, just like the picture, Allie, just like the picture. Grandbun was leading, right? She was leading this conversation. She was leading the answers, right? Take note to that. Take note to that. I didn't like that. I did not like that much. That, she's stepping in. I mean, what I'm saying is Chris wasn't talking to Graham Bun. He was talking to Allie. Let Allie answer the questions for Allie's self. But Graham Bun, if you notice, chimed in, right? She chimed in to try to make things solid, like she was there, but she wasn't. She wasn't.
You can't. And the windows were up.
What did Hunter say? Because he was sitting next to her.
Hunter said she was alive.
Okay.
That they were watching TikTok videos.
Oh, interesting.
Wait a minute, when they went into the store,
Yep.
they were...
Because...
Now, did you see Graham Bun's leading, right? She's leading again. When they went into the store, Allie, when they went into the store, they were watching videos, right? That gave Summer time to go to sleep on the milk jugs from the store to Hunter's house. Graham Bun is leading things. That's a red flag.
Hunter has a timeline of where they went and what they did. And they had stopped at the store before they dropped Hunter off. That's where the 2 gallons of milk came from.
Okay.
And the groceries.
Okay. Summer's on the other side with the milk. Hunter gets out. You ask Hunter, or you talk to Candace about wanting to talk to Summer.
Yep.
What happens?
She said no. I wasn't allowed to wake her up.
Okay. So she's sleeping?
To me, she appeared sleeping.
Okay. Did it look like to you she was sleeping?
At the time, yes.
Okay.
But now that I look back on it, I really don't know.
Okay.
Now, I want you to listen to that. I want you to listen to this again. Listen to this again. She says, looking back on it, I really don't know, is what she says.
Okay. So she's sleeping?
To me, she appeared sleeping.
Okay. Did it look like to you she was sleeping?
At the time, yes.
Okay.
But now that I look back on it, I really don't know.
Okay.
She says, as I look back on it, I really don't know. Now, this is where Chris is going to throw a monkey wrench in to see her reaction, right? I think he knew what he was doing. I hope so. Because if he didn't, he still did a very good job. That's all I'm saying. He done a really good job. Because watch what he does to her. She said, right now, she's at, as I look back at it, I really don't know. She could have not have been alive, right? That's what she's saying, right? Put a 1 in the chat if that's what you believe she's saying at this point right here. Looking back on it, I don't know. She may not have been alive. That's what she's saying at this point, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what she's saying right now. That's exactly what she's saying right now. Yep. That she is. That she is, folks. She is definitely saying, looking back on it, I'm thinking it's a very good possibility. I mean, she could have not been alive at all, right? I don't know. Absolutely. And now we're going to watch Chris use his smartigans, right? We're going to watch him use his smartigans and remind her. He's going to remind her of what? Of her son being in that vehicle. And then let's hear Allie. Here we go.
Fair enough.
And it just kills me. Because, Now that I look back on it, it's like, was she really alive? Was she sleeping?
Now I look back on it, was she really alive? Was she sleeping? Was she alive? She could have not been alive, is what she's saying. But watch this.
What's your gut as a mom? I mean, with Hunter coming in and saying, Mom, we were watching TikTok.
Oh, there you go. As a mom, and Hunter, now Chris mentions her son, right? Chris mentions the one thing that means so much to Allie. Will you protect your son? You're just telling me that she may not have been alive. How much would you protect your son is what Chris is doing right now. I'm going to bring up your son, the fact your son was there. How much would you protect him? Let's find out how much she will protect him now.
Videos. I mean, for her to hurt her between the TikTok video stop and home here with Hunter in the car, that would have been kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, I believe she was alive here.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, where would you put her being alive?
10.
And
oh, did you see the change? Did you see the change? Oh, you went out there. You was thinking, is she alive? Is she not alive? I'm thinking back on it. She could have not have been alive. She could have. Well, with Hunter in the vehicle and your son being involved that day, what does your gut tell you? Oh, I believe she's alive now. I believe she's alive here. Oh, you just told us that you didn't. You just told us that you didn't, that you had your thoughts that she may have not been alive at all until Hunter's name's brought in, and then it's a 10, baby. It's a 10 when your son. Would you protect your son? Absolutely. Absolutely. She just did. She just did it. Right there and then. She did it. Oh, hell. You're right. This ain't coming back on my boy. She was alive. Right? She was alive. So that says that she would protect. If Summer wasn't alive, Allie would have protected him. Allie would have protected him. Right? Absolutely. She would have protected him.
where would Hunter put her?
Out of 10.
Okay.
Oh, where would Hunter put her? Oh, out of 10. Out of 10. She was alive. You know what? I'm not sure if she was or not. I'm not sure, folks, if she was or not. Right? I don't know. I don't know. I've got my suspicions. I've got my suspicions. Now we got to wonder about it, right? Now we have to wonder about it. This is the voice in the car. I'm going to let you hear. I'm going to let you hear Allie's voice, and I'm going to let you hear the voice in the car taking the video, because I haven't ever believed that voice belongs to Grandis. I heard Grandis do an interview with the news station. I have heard Grandis's voice firsthand. Firsthand. I have talked to Grandis. I have personally talked to Grandis. And I have personally heard Grandis's voice. And Grandis's voice is pretty fucking rough, if you ask me. It's pretty damn rough. It's old and it's rusty. That's all I'm going to say. She's got an old and rusty fucking voice. The person in this car didn't seem to have an old rusty voice, you know? But I'm going to let you hear Allie's voice and then the person in the car's voice. You decide for yourself. You know, I'm not saying that Allie was in that car. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it sure it sure to me sounds a little bit like Allie's voice.
She still got her arm up?
No.
The last time I knew he was around. And on his interviews on TV.
Right.
Like, first he started saying stuff about God and how he wanted.
Now, here we go again. At the beginning of this, and it goes straight into Allie's voice. It goes straight into Allie's voice. It goes from the car, the voice in the car, straight into Allie's voice. So make sure you listen. You know, you listen real good here.
She still got her arm up?
No.
The last time I knew he was around. And on his interviews on TV.
Right.
Like, first he started saying stuff about God and how he wanted the people that stole his daughter punished by cruel means, and then he went to saying something about Jezebel, and now everyone has to answer to the prophet. Like, weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he has really hurt this family.
By throwing me and my son under the bus. Oh.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch, but she still got her arm up?
No.
Oh.
So, what do you think? I mean, put a 1 if you think it was Allie's voice. Put a 2 if you don't. You know, I think it kind of sound like her. I think it kind of sound like her. Personally, you know, because at the beginning of this, when the person says no, and it goes straight into Allie's voice, you practically didn't realize, you know, you just thought it was Allie talking some more, right? Watch.
She still got her arm up?
No.
The last time I knew he was around. And on his interviews on TV.
Right.
Like, first he started saying stuff about God and how he wanted the people that stole his daughter punished by cruel means, and then he.
It kind of sounds. It does kind of sound like her. You know, I don't know. I haven't. I haven't really ever thought it was Grandis's voice, because it sounds too soft. It sounds too soft, a little too young to be Grandis's voice. I mean, it's more of a middle-aged person's voice than it is a young, like teenage, young adult. It's, you know, it ain't teenage, young adult. It's more like a middle-aged voice than it is an old person's voice, right? Grandis has a rusty, like, I just don't think it's Grandis. You know, it sounded more like Grandma's voice. I don't know. I mean, when she was on the interview, her voice was rough. Right? So I don't know. You know, it kind of sound like Allie, you know, Allie's voice to me. I don't know. You know, Graham Bun's got that old voice too, right? When you heard Graham Bun speak up and talk, you know, she's got that, you know, that like Grandis, right? If they want to find me, the police got my number. I mean, Grandis has got, you know, some kind of, I don't know, no softness to her voice. None. Like, you know, it's rugged as hell. It's rugged. This person's voice don't sound rugged to me. It just don't sound rugged. Right? It sounds kind of soft, if you ask me. right? So I don't know. I don't know. So, and Grandbun was up there, and said, oh, he told Allie, they had to go. They got out of here real quick. They had to go. They had to go. I'm going to tell you what I believe. I believe that they pulled up in front of Allie's house. I do believe that Allie was probably on the porch because that's where they're at all the time, right? I wouldn't doubt that she wasn't out on that porch. I think that she did see Hunter get out of the vehicle, but because they, the windows were rolled up, they couldn't see anything in that car. I think before Hunter got out, he put the milks down beside him. He moved Summer. I think Summer was behind Candace against the door, right? I think Hunter lifted Summer up over him, put her on those milk jugs, jumped out of that vehicle, and got the hell out of there. I don't think that Candace was giving him any more vapes or anything. I think he already drank his twisted tea, had his vapes in his pockets, and he got the hell up out of there in a hurry, like a New York minute, right? He got the hell out of there. Gone. Like, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. He was out. He was out of there. And I don't think Allie ever went. I don't think Allie ever went to that vehicle. I think what Allie did is saw the picture of Summer on the milk jugs. And she was just going off of what the picture she had seen. I don't think she honestly saw anybody, other than maybe Candace up front through the front windshield. But I don't think she saw anything that was in the back until she saw the video of Summer on the milk jugs. To be perfectly honest. And, and like she said, and I think they got out of there real quick. It could possibly be because, it possibly could have been because, there might have been a stench starting, or they might have, or they might have felt that Allie might pull the back door open and look over Summer, or, hey girl, how you doing? Oh, she's sleeping. You know how people are. They start talking, patting, maybe even scoot their ass in the back seat to talk, right? Instead of standing up. They might, if they get that door open, they might actually sit their ass in there to talk with you for a while. I don't think Candace and Grandis wanted to take any chance with Allie seeing nothing in that vehicle. There's a good possibility because Grandbun said they pulled out immediately. Quick. They had to go. So that tells me, they practically kept the car moving as Hunter jumped out of it to run up on the porch, right? That's what it sounds like to me. And if that's the truth, that's a big red flag. That's a big red flag. But Allie would take that secret to her grave, even if she knew the truth. She'd take it to her grave, right? Because that's her son. That's her son. And she feels that, he's going to take all the downfall for what these sinister adults may have put him up to do. Why should he go to prison for their sinister ideals, their sinister plans, that, a sinister thing that they got him involved in? And a lot of parents would think that way, right? A lot of parents would think that way because, um, if Summer, what I'm saying is, if Summer wasn't no longer with us on the milk jugs, if something went down at the swimming hole, she was no longer with us. And Hunter, you know, and Candace had talked Hunter into, you know, doing something sinister to Summer, which made her no longer with us on the milk jugs. You know that if Hunter told, yeah, Candace had me, you know, Candace offered me something, or Candace had me, do this sinister thing. I don't know why, but she had me do this sinister thing. Um, you know, and no, Summer wasn't, you know, alive on the milk jugs. If he was to tell law enforcement that, you know, Candace had me do it, Hunter's life is over, right? He's going to prison. He's going to prison for a long time. He's going to prison. And you don't think Candace would let him know that? You know, Candace made 2 trips to Hunter's house. Not one. Well, first time she wanted to know what he told law enforcement, and told him he better keep his mouth shut. Right? He better keep his mouth shut. Then she came back again. What did she come back for? What did she come back for the second time when Hunter went through the phone and said an Andy guy said it's done? Why did Hunter feel he had to make up a lie like that? Because I'm going to tell you now, when he described to Chris M about how he went through the phone to the deleted this and that and was talking, he didn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I can tell you right now, Hunter did not know what he was talking about when it came to that phone. Right? And I could tell you that what he said was a lie. There was no message saying from an Andy saying it's done. I don't believe that. I do not believe, but for some reason Hunter felt that he needed to say that. Why? Why do you feel a need to put whatever happened to Summer that day off on someone else? That's a big red flag. That's a big red flag. Just saying. You know, there's a lot of red flags in all of this. Right? A lot of red flags in all of this. Now, would Hunter do something like that for Candace? If Candace asked, would he do something as sinister as, on live a child? I don't know. I'm not saying he did. I'm saying, we don't know what happened. I just don't like the fact that the video went off as he was going into the water. I don't like the fact that as he went in the water, Summer started going farther out and acted scared of him. Right? That's what I'm saying. I don't like the fact that when Hunter first turned around and seen Candace videoing him, I didn't like the fact when, he turned around, he was looking at something up there. And when he turned around and seen her videoing him, you could tell it was like, what the hell you doing? Right? It was like, what the hell? I mean, yeah, after that, he started smiling, trying to throw up of some, peace signs or whatever. But, you know, at first, it was like, what the hell you doing? And if you took note, as he's going out in that water, he kept looking back. He kept looking back to see if she's filming, right? As Summer's heading farther out, looking afraid, he's staring back. Are you still videoing? Are you still? And that's when the video went off, right? That's when it went off. And that isn't the way Candace does videos. If you went back and you watched her videos, she doesn't turn them off, right? She doesn't turn them off in the middle of something. Candace plays the video out. Like what I'm saying is, she was videoing Hunter going out into that water, and normally Candace would have kept videoing. She'd have kept videoing until Summer came up out of the water, or Hunter, went further into the water, and then she moves the camera around at other people if they're there, right? Up there upon the trees and the land, and she ain't one to cut it off. She ain't one to cut it off so swiftly like that. No. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think you all know it. I know it. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. So, I don't know. H said he couldn't even remember how he got out of the vehicle, which I know was a lie. It's like, why does he have to keep lying if he didn't do anything wrong? Absolutely. Absolutely, Molly. I agree. I agree with you, girl. Absolutely. 150%. I agree with you. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of, it was pre-planned. Whatever happened to Summer, June 15, 2021, was pre-planned. Now, I don't know if they needed to get rid of her because they couldn't explain something to, here's the thing. When Detective Pruitt, right, or Sheriff Pruitt, whatever the hell Pruitt is, I'm not even sure. But deputy, right, Ronnie Lawson's the main sheriff. I don't know what Pruitt is. He's the one on Summer's case. But point being is, when Pruitt came out to talk, Pruitt said, we don't believe they were trafficking outside the area. We believe that she's somewhere still inside the area. But then he said, I know everybody hopes for her to be alive, but you got to prepare, but he's, right then and there, he let us know that they do not believe Summer is still alive. Ronnie Lawson made a statement, ask him why it took 4 hours to call law enforcement. Well, if it took 4 hours, that would have placed Summer back on the milk jugs. Not alive. So, does law enforcement feel that Summer was being trafficked inside the area, possibly contrasted something that the Wells, were afraid to take her to a doctor or hospital for, something they couldn't explain, something that might get them put in prison? So they may have had her unlived at the swimming hole that day. And that's why she was looking like she did on the milk jugs. I don't know. You know, I don't know. Um, do they feel that, she was trafficked to someone inside the area that, wasn't good people, and they probably done some sinister things, and got rid of Summer? I don't know. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, whatever the case may be, whether they sold her off to someone within the area, right? Or if they had her, had someone unlive her at the swimming hole. The point being is, it was pre-planned, premeditated, and carried out June the 15th, 2021. And we know that because of Don Wells' actions. Don Wells already knew what was coming down that day, because he had already made plans for it. He already started driving a different vehicle with the Starlink to try to boost his alibis. He fired his co-worker the day before to blame it on, right? To blame it on. He set up everything. He set up everything to cover that ass. He set up everything to cover his ass, in my opinion. That's what it looks like to me. So whether she was taken out at the swimming hole, right, and truly wasn't alive on those milk jugs, or, trafficked later that day to someone, sold, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Point being is, still Don, Candace, and Grandis are involved. They're the ones. No matter what happened to Summer, these three know, right? These three know exactly what happened. I mean, it's no surprise to them what happened. They already know, because they're the ones that pre-planned it and carried it out June the 15th, 2021. Donald was hiding from it all, while Candace was it sounds to me like Candace carried it out. Sounds to me like Grandma wanted nothing to do with it. She stayed in the vehicle, right? Donald hid at some damn work site. And it sounds like Candace is the main culprit in all of this, if you ask me. And that makes perfect sense, right? That makes perfect sense, because Candace is the one that wasn't at the first interview with Donald, right? Donald felt his ass was covered by his job, by being at the job, he felt he had alibis to cover that ass. So he didn't mind being out in public a little bit. He figured it's going to take a long time for people to really figure out what the hell went down anyway, right? Which I think we have. I think we have figured it out, right? I think we figured it out, folks. We definitely figured out it was pre-planned by his own actions, right? Absolutely. So, with that being said, it doesn't. It seems like Candace was the one not wanting to go. She was hiding in the house, right? When Grandis and Donald was outside showing their faces to law enforcement while they were searching the woods and everything. Well, Grandis don't have a problem being out there, because she was hiding up in the vehicle. She wasn't even down at that swimming hole. She was hiding during everything. She felt I'm not having anything to do with it. I'm putting minutes on my phone. I mean, I'm just sitting here. If that's what happened, if that's the scenario to what happened that day, at the swimming hole. Grandis was at basically hiding in a vehicle away from it. And, while Hunter and Candace was down there, right? They were the ones down there. Possibly, I'm not saying they were, but I'm saying possibly doing whatever took Summer out of this world. They were possibly down there. She may not have been alive on those milk jugs. That's true. That's very true. Even Allie said, I don't know. I don't know. Right? She might have not have been. So, until Allie thought about her son being with them. And then she's like, oh, no. No, she was alive. I'm pretty sure she was. I say a 10. Oh, Hunter would say a 10. Because Hunter don't want to go to prison. Right? And you would. Regardless of what age you are. Right? And Hunter seemed to know that. He seemed to know that because he said it. He said they put 12, 13, 14-year-old kids in prison. So he knew. He knew. Now, did he know by someone threatening him with it? Possibility. Could that someone have been Candace? Maybe. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is, seems like Candace, whatever scenario happened, Candace was the main one there, the main one involved with whatever went down with Summer. Donald had his ass hiding and alibying up at that job site. Grandma had that ass hiding in that vehicle. And, Candace was the one, running the show. Candace was running the show that day. Right? So she, in my opinion, Candace knows exactly what happened to Summer. She knows exactly if Summer was alive on those milk jugs or not. And she knows exactly if Summer was sold that day or not, because she would have been the seller. She would have been the seller. Right? Not Donald, he was at work. And not Grandis, because she was hiding. It would have been all Candace. Right? All Candace. But Grandis and Donald still had perfect knowledge of everything. They know exactly what happened to Summer as well. Grandma knows whether Summer was alive on those milk jugs or not. Grandma knows if Candace left that damn land to take Summer somewhere to sell her. Right? Grandma knows the truth. And Donald knows the truth. I'm just saying. Absolutely. Whatever went down, it was pre-planned because Donald changed up. Donald changed everything up too much that couple of days that Summer came up missing. He started, like I said, his first mistake was starting to drive a different vehicle, the Subaru, that he hadn't ever drove before, but now he's going to drive it for only a couple of days. And then he goes back to his white truck. Nothing was wrong with this white truck. Nothing was wrong with it. There was no reason to change up like that. But he did. He did because he knew that other vehicle had Starlink, and he felt that that other vehicle wouldn't be as noticeable if he was meeting up somewhere with Candace. And he was missing from work that day. June 15th, he was missing from work. Right? He couldn't tell law enforcement where he was. Don Wells has not been cleared. Even though he supposedly was at work, he has not been cleared because he changed everything up, fires his co-worker to blame it on, takes his co-worker's money so he can act like he didn't need no money, right? he changed things up too much. And that leads law enforcement to understand that this motherfucker definitely knew something was going down. And he was trying to prepare alibis for it. Right? So he ain't getting his ass cleared. And I don't think he passed no polygraph, because if he did, he'd had no problems going on Steve Wilco and passing another one. He'd have had no problem putting that polygraph out, just like Fred. Fred put his polygraph out here, everybody to see. If them bastards passed the polygraph, they would have done put it in your face. They'd have done put it in your face. Look, bitches, we passed the polygraph. Take a look at this. Don't tell us we didn't. You know, Don and Candace would want the support from everybody. They want to be supported. So if they had polygraphs that they actually passed, they would have done showed us. They'd have done showed us so they could get the support that they so craved to get. Right? That's just what it is. They didn't pass shit. They didn't pass shit, folks. Trust and believe that. They didn't pass a damn thing. Their asses won't ever be cleared. Ever. But hopefully, law enforcement can get enough circumstantial evidence together to prosecute the shit out of them. I hope they're able to find Summer. I hope somehow, some way, some miracle, right? Some miracle that God and Jesus Christ allow Summer to be found. I hope by some miracle this baby is found. But even if she isn't, I hope to God that they prosecute with circumstantial evidence. I'm gonna put you up on panel, Sassy France. Hey girl, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Hey, someone had just asked me to ask you, because there were people asleep over there where the lady is, but she wanted to know if you remembered if Dr. Phil said that they didn't have anything to do with Summer's disappearance.
Who asked that?
Texas Bright Brat.
For one, Dr. Phil is a psychologist, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a psychologist. And Dr. Phil, Dr. Phil has to protect, he has to protect his ass if law enforcement don't do their job. Like all of us, we have to say in our opinion, right? In our opinion. In
Right.
case, even though even though you got brains enough to understand exactly what these evil motherfuckers have done, knowing it and proving it is two different things. Knowing it and proving it is two different things. So the way law enforcement works, they may not work at all, right?
Right.
You can't rely on law enforcement to get a job done, right? You just can't.
Right.
So, with that being said, that's why you got to say, in my opinion, you got to always say to protect your ass. Well, how much more so do you think Dr. Phil has to protect his ass?
A lot.
If law enforcement don't do their job, how much more would he need to protect his ass? Absolutely. So he definitely. But even Dr. Phil, let people know that Candace was high. Candace was really high on his list with suspicion, right? Really high on his list with suspicion. Absolutely. You think he didn't know behind the scenes, I'm sure that man was probably like, that bitch is guilty as hell. Her old man, looked so comfortable once I said the words he wanted to hear. I mean, he had a lump in his fucking throat the whole time. When I said the words he wanted to hear, he swallowed it. Did you take note to that? And then you
Yeah.
could see the relief come over him, the fucking fear leaving. That son of a bitch is involved too. I mean, behind the scenes, I'm sure he was saying a whole different ball game, right?
Right.
No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. You know, what I'm saying is Dr. Phil isn't Steve Wilco. You know, Steve Wilco gives you a lie detector's test, and if you pass it, you get to sit down in a chair. If you don't,
Right.
your ass needs you don't only get to stand up, but you get told to get the fuck out of his presence, right?
Right.
Get out of my face. Leave. See ya. And that
Remember when you tried to get him to go on Steve Wilkos's show and he wouldn't do it?
no, he said he
He
was
agreed with it at first and then he wouldn't do it after that.
he said he was going to, and he lied.
Mhm.
Right? He
Yeah.
lied. He can't pass. He didn't pass the first one. He ain't gonna pass the second one, and he knows it. He knows it. I mean, I don't believe for one fucking second any of them airhead bastards passed that polygraph. I don't
I
think
don't
Brandon,
either.
Candace, nor Donald passed shit, if you ask me. And
Well,
I think,
Grandis was called back after she had texted Ziggy V and Emma, and all that information was turned over to the FBI.
right, right.
Yes, ma'am. She was called back for re-questioning.
Well, she was called back. She was called back. She was called back when TBI and Hawkins County got wind of Don Wells saying, see, Don was denying that being Grandis, and Grandis was denying it being her. Said that her
Right.
got hacked by this woman friend of hers, and she don't know why this woman friend of hers would do such a thing as say those things to people. They were both trying to cover their asses and lie, right? Grandis was lying, and Donald kept lying. But
Right.
when I contacted Don Wells told me personally, you know, sissy, you know, listen, I truly believe it was Candace's dumbass fucking mother. That's all that needed to be said. That's when they called her ass back.
Yep.
Back, you know, I gave TBI and law enforcement the heads up that what was said out of Don's mouth, and Grandis's ass came coming back to Tennessee. Absolutely. You know, they wasn't going to really do nothing until Donald admitted that, yeah, he thinks it was his mother-in-law that did that shit. That she does all kinds of dirty shit to him. So, yes. Yes. Absolutely. That's what got her called back. Hell, I knew her ass was getting called. I knew that ass was coming back to be questioned. Absolutely.
Well, I personally think that Donnie, Candace, and Grandis were all three involved in all that.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I think
No,
that
absolutely.
Hawkins County needs to go and put all three of those people in handcuffs and put them in jail.
No doubt. No doubt. And I think they will. I think they in due time, It's a process. See, it's a process. The law's a process, and you have to follow that process. You
Right.
You can't jump through hoops anymore. You know, um, we the people, we the people can blame no one but ourselves that more isn't getting done quicker because we have made it harder for law enforcement. We have made it harder for law enforcement and the court system to do their jobs. We the people, by bitching, hollering, protesting and doing all the things we do when when law enforcement is doing what they need to do to clean up our streets, has caused us a lot of problems. It's put a lot more stipulations on law enforcement, a lot more protocol that they have to follow now, and it takes a hell of a lot more to get these son of bitches, these evil people, these evil criminals off the street now, right?
Right.
What can you do? What can you do? You know, like they said, you know, if you need an officer, if you need help, you know, call the go outside and holler for the criminals on the street to come help you. Go outside, scream for the criminals to help you. Oh, they'll help you all right. They'll help you. You know, they'll help you. Go ahead and let the one trying to get in come on in. Right? If you're going to fight against law enforcement and you think these people shouldn't have to pay for the crimes they commit and everything, then open the damn door. Right? Open the door and let the criminals trying to get in. You know,
Right.
saying is don't tie law enforcement's hands and then expect them to be able to do anything for you. Don't tie their
Right.
hands and expect them to do something. It don't work like that.
Exactly.
Either you want the trash off the fucking streets and your streets to be safe, or you don't. There's no in between. No in between. You know, if you were an officer, if you was an officer of the law, you know, how would you treat someone, you know, an oversized person biting the hell out of you, spitting in your face, pinching you, scratching you, swinging at you? How are you going to get that under control? I tell you how you would get it under control, but you wouldn't like it when I did. You know how you would get it under control, and you probably wouldn't be as nice
Yeah.
to law enforcement. You wouldn't.
No.
When somebody hits you upside, when somebody puts a blow upside your head, right? Because
I would be right in jail right behind them because
you know, and they swing at you and hit you so hard that you're seeing stars. Uh, you're not going to keep wrestling them to get them down like law enforcement does. I tell you right now, hell no, you wouldn't. If you had the weapons that law enforcement has, that mother freaker would be done.
yeah.
They would be done. And so why do we expect law enforcement to do any less than what we would be doing ourselves? Right?
Right.
I mean, don't call them. Don't call them if you're going to bitch on how they handle the criminal that you're calling them about. Right?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's crazy out there. It's crazy out there, and I don't know what to say for people, girl. I don't know what to, you know. All I know is I'm a God fearing, law abiding, upstanding citizen. I don't do anything. I don't break the law. I love the law. I know they have the laws in place to keep me and everyone around me safe. I know they have law enforcement so that I can feel safe and secure where I live.
Yes,
I
they do.
I know that they have them. So if criminals if criminals come around my home, you know, if criminals come around my home, then, first you have to protect yourself. Don't
Right.
expect law enforcement law enforcement is not Superman. It's not Superman. Law enforcement is not waiting to jump in a phone booth on the corner and run down to your house to save you. Law enforcement,
Right.
when you call, it takes time for law enforcement to get to you. And when they get to you, they ride around the block, right? They ride around the block about 10 times trying to assess things, hoping the criminal's gone by now. They ride around the block. Hey, we're here. You need to run. We're here. You need to run, right? So what you better do is while law enforcement is on their way, and then they spend another 20 to 30 minutes trying to scare the person off, your ass better be protecting yourself, right?
Right.
Because they cannot and probably aren't going to be able, to do what needs to be done. So you're going to have to do it if it needs to be done. I mean, it's just the way it is, you know. Um, it's kind of like the fairy tales, right? It's kind of like the fairy tales, like they said, you know, like they said, don't wait on some prince, don't wait on some prince on a big white horse to come save you. You better save yourself, and that's true. That's true, right?
Yep.
And that's so Raven. All right, that's so Raven, baby. Oh,
They're just biding their time to get the world behind us.
huh?
I said they're probably biding their time and gathering all the information that they can up to take them into custody.
I think that they are gathering a lot of information. I think law enforcement knows a lot more than we do. I think law enforcement is like I said, it's a process. Even after you have everything you need, you still got to process it, put it together. You know, you got to then hand it over to prosecutors. You got to see if there's enough to make it solid enough to prosecute. Then you have to, it's a help, and then they have to go. If they think it is enough, then they have to go to the court system, get dates to start getting everything done, right? So it is one hell of a process. I mean, you know, law enforcement is on the lower tier, and then they have to hand everything over, to the prosecutors or whatever. Well, the court system, then the court system, you know, gives it to prosecutors to see if it's enough to be prosecuted. And then if it is, they get back with the system and, and go from there to get it all set up and done. Um, it's one heck of a process. It takes a long time to get done. I mean, it's just how shit works, Law enforcement, I'm sure they feel they got enough to go out. They probably felt they had enough to put handcuffs on Grandis, Candace, and Donald within the first week or so, right? No doubt
Mm-hmm.
in my mind. They probably felt that, we need it. From what I understand, TBI was ready to handcuff them the same night, right? The same night the shit was going down. I don't know. That's what I heard. But, it don't work like that. That ain't the way the system works. The system is a long, hard process, right?
Right. Well, I hope and pray to God that this does not take another year or two for them to do all of their stuff that they need to do to put these people away for the rest of their lives.
Right.
Whatever they did to Summer, I'm sure was horrendous. And that baby did not deserve what she got. Those boys did not deserve whatever they lived through either.
Right.
And apparently,
ask me, sassy frats don't have to ask me. I can read the chat myself. If they put out age enhanced pictures of missing kids. Hey, for one, you know, if there's an age enhanced picture out here of Summer, it came from the proper authorities to be put out. So no, you wouldn't get any trouble putting it out. I just think that the age progression picture that they have put out of Summer looks nothing like Summer. And therefore, with that being said, their age progression photo looks like a teenager. It don't look like an 8-year-old child. It looks like a teenager, right? It looks like a girl about 14, 15 years old, not one that's 8. I would say, if you want to know what Summer looks like at the age of 8, then go to the church photos of the little girl that's at the church following Robin around. That looks like Summer, because I truly believe that's about what Summer would look like now. It's that same little girl. So, that would be more age progression than what's out here of Summer. That picture don't look a damn thing like Summer. It don't.
And
look
the ones that and the ones that White Boy looks, the ones that White Boy put out, I didn't watch it, but they were sent to me. And that looks like it was just downloaded on somebody's phone. Progression.
That is hilarious, Molly. I love it.
That's what I think. They used an app to age progress her.
Yeah, and there is.
And they sent it to White Boy, and White Boy put it out there.
Right. There's apps that will but they usually, like they have an app, right? They have an app that supposedly, there's this one app that you put a picture in it, and it'll tell you what the person will look like in young adulthood, middle aged, and then old. And
right.
And instead of putting your picture in there, put a picture of someone that's already old, right? So you have pictures of them when, like do your grandmother or your mother, put their picture in there, and then compare it to the original pictures of your mother when she was a young adult, middle-aged, and old, and you'll find out that them apps are full of shit. Looks nothing like you know, the person, and nothing like them. Because see, the problem with age progression photos, the problem with those is people gain weight, people lose weight, right? I mean, um, you could, you know, I hate to say this, but I have seen kids that are, you know, skinny as a rail, right? Skinny as a rail. When they're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, right? They're just like, you wouldn't ever think this kid's going to gain no weight. And man, you go back, see that kid when it's around 12, 14, it looked like a house, right?
Right.
House. Well, age progression ain't going to make it look like that. You know, that's the problem. That's the problem right there with age progression. You know, nobody's able to say what a human is going to look like in the future. You know, it ain't going to happen, right?
Right. But that's what it looks like. They had downloaded an app to do that on. And then they sent it over to White Boy for him to put it out there on his panel.
Cocoa Pop.
I mean, come on.
Cocoa Pop said, White Boy posted the UFO. I wanted to comment, stop, boy. That's your big ears. You're damn. I'm trying to be nice tonight. I'm trying to be nice. So it's just like your big ears. Right? I'm trying to be nice, you guys. Right? After last night, I'm trying to get some brownie points tonight. I ain't trying to get no brownies. I'm just trying to get some brownie points with the Lord. I need them.
PG, did you go to the store today to find any brownies? That reminds me.
Nah, girl. I'm gonna tell you what. PG's been busy. I done started spring cleaning, right? I done started the spring clean, and I'm gonna tell you something. Whew, washing the windows, and you know, you gotta wash the windows, take down all the curtains and stuff, and you know, put up the spring curtains. You know, I take down my winter curtains and get them all cleaned up and hung back up, right? And how many people keep their old pillowcases? To keep their old pillowcases to cover up their coats during the spring, summer, you know, fall, or keep the old pillowcases to put over, you know, like the extra blankets and stuff you hang up. I keep old pillowcases. I do. I keep them, and I cut a little slit in the top, and then I put them down over top of the rack and cover up like things I'm going to store away until next year. And man, they work beautifully. They work beautifully, you know, because you can use a little hair tie, right, to tie up the bottom once you put it over whatever you're trying to, you know, keep clean, and you know, and then put a little hair tie and store it away in the closet. And you know, next year when you get the coats out, you know, they're, you know, like brand new. I wash everything up and put it away, and then and I do that with my curtains, you know, my winter curtains. And I've been busting my ass spring cleaning. You know, I got freaking vacuums and dustpans and freaking, you know, every kind of cleaning product there is. Um, Soap flying left and right, right? I PG's been like a big scrubbing bubble. That's the best I can say. I've been like a big old freaking scrubbing bubble for the last few days. And today, you know, it was, you know, it was wash windows and and the curtains, putting up the new curtains, cleaning up the old ones, and you know, trust me, trust me. My freaking house right now, I feel like it's a wreck. I feel like it's a wreck. I wasn't even going to come in here tonight because I had, I had so much to do. I'm one of those people. If I don't get it done, it will drive me stupid. And I wasn't going to come in, but Justin hit me up and asked me if I was coming in, and I told him, he talked me into it. He talked me into it, but I wasn't going to come in tonight because, my spring cleaning, I have to clean everything. Like when I spring clean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Pidgey, me and Beth Ann was talking last night, and you had brought up that thing with Jody, Sue, and all of them. And Beth Ann we got to talking about that, and the scent, okay? Jody Sue said that when she was standing in the creek.
He has to use a toilet brush to unclog his ears. That's a big Q-tip there, baby.
Yeah. But when Jody Sue was standing in the water, and the search dogs hit on her, right? They hit on her feet or something like that. They hit on her. They stopped at her feet, right?
Right. I heard that. I heard that story. I don't know if it's true or not.
Okay, well, me and Beth Ann was talking about that last night. But what if Candace took Summer to Jody Sue and asked Jody Sue what to do with Summer?
I have my suspicions. That more people are involved in what happened to Summer than just Candace, Grandis, and Donald. I think
Right.
and that's another thing that's making this case really complex, right? Is causing this case. When you have multiple people involved in something, it takes a lot longer. It takes a lot longer to put everything together in order to start coming down on people. So I got a feeling that behind the scenes, that is definitely going on. That is definitely going on. Absolutely.
Right.
No doubt in
But
my
we
mind.
were talking about it last night, and I told Beth Ann, I said, we'll go up on panel and ask PG what she thought of it,
Right. Well, I agree. I agree. I agree that, there, I think we're going to be surprised. I think we're going to be surprised when everything comes out in the wash. I really,
Yeah.
absolutely. No doubt in my mind.
But yeah, we were talking about that last night.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, listen, girl. I'm going to get out of here because tomorrow's another day, right? It's another day. And we all have to get up. We all have to, you know, I wish everything, I wish everything could stop, right? I wish everything could stop so that we could, not have to get to tomorrow so quick, but time flies. I don't know who threw the clock out the window, but time is flying. And I know it's gonna, you know, trust me, 6:30, 7 o'clock comes real damn early. Real early, so and I used to be able to hit the alarm clock and snooze for a few more seconds before getting up. But now, if I hit that damn alarm clock, I have to get up because if I hit it and go back to sleep, I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens, but I'm late for everything then. you know, so I'm not as good at, I'm not as good at, I'm not as good as I once was at smacking the snooze button and popping up, popping back up in just a little bit. Um, you know, nope, I hit that snooze button and buddy, let me tell you, I go snoozing. So that's a good way to, that's a good, let me tell you, I can't afford to lose my daytime job. Right? I got to keep that. I got to keep that, y'all. Um, but yeah, morning's going to come early. So PG got to get out of here. Let everybody else get some rest. I know you all got tons of things to do as well. I just wanted, I just wanted to let everyone know that things have been confirmed where Allie's concerned. I wanted everyone um, to understand that, you know, we're not sure exactly what went down on June the 15th, 2021. Um, but, but in my opinion, you know, my opinion, we're pretty sure, you know, actually, I can't even say pretty. In my opinion, it's my opinion that whatever went down on June 15th, 2021, it was absolutely premeditated and carried out. That's the way all the pieces are falling. You know, when you're looking at everything, when you take everything in consideration, that's exactly the way it's fallen. And you know, so it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And you know, that's my opinion. If the fucking Candace, Donald, or Grandis don't like it, well, you know how PG is. You can kiss my backside, right? Kiss my freaking backside. This ain't about Don, Candace, and Grandis. This is about a 5-year-old little girl who is missing that should not have ever been missing. This is about a little girl that needs to be found that shouldn't have needed to be found. That's my opinion also. That's my opinion as well. And you know, it's about Summer Moon Utah Wells. You know, say her name, Donald. Say her name, Candace. Say her name, Grandis, because she does exist. It doesn't matter where she's at. She exists. We know she existed. You know she exists. And God, most of all, knows she exists. So, with that being said, say her name. It ain't going to make no difference anyway. Whether you say her name or not, God's going to get you. At some point, God's going to get you. That's all I got to say. You can't do such an evil deed. You cannot do such an evil deed on this earth as making a little child disappear completely. I don't give a damn how well you covered it up. God still knows all, right? People out here may not know nothing, but God knows everything. Ain't nothing he don't know. Better people than the Wells have tried to hide stuff in the dark, right? Better people than them tried to hide things in the dark. And what did God say? He said, I don't care how dark it was. I seen you. I don't care. I seen you. Right? You can't hide nothing from God. So, you know, at the end of this day, I pray the Summer is found. I pray the Summer is brought home. I pray that Summer gets the justice against these evil bastards that she totally deserves. I pray that this baby, if she's not with us, gets laid to rest, properly gets laid to rest, and her family, as her brothers, and when I say family, I'm talking about her brothers, 3 brothers, get closure. And we all get closure as well. That's what I pray for. But you know, at the end of the day, even if that doesn't happen, I know that God knows what went down June 15, 2021. I know that these people are going to have to face God at some point, and I know justice will be served on Summer's
Yes,
behalf.
ma'am.
No doubt in my mind. And you know what? That's what allows PG and everyone else in this community who loved this little girl and is a voice for her. That's what allows us to sleep. That's what allows us to be able to rest at night, is knowing God will handle it. He will take care of it, regardless if it gets taken care of here or not. It will get taken care of then. So, you know, nobody gets away with nothing. Nobody and no evil human in this world gets away with anything, right? Don't laugh, don't smile, don't think that you are a brilliant human being that gets away with evil shit, because you don't. You don't. God is, the Bible says that God will have you in his derision and he will be the one laughing then. Read your Bible, because it says that he will be the one laughing then, because you were foolish to think that you was getting away with anything in this life, right? And that's why PG always tries to do what's righteous in this world. And that's why I always try to tell other people, please do righteousness. Let people know how much you love them. They need to hear it. Be kind to everybody. Be caring, right? Be the person that God wants you to be, right? Be the person God wants you to be. You know, I can't, I have to be who God wants me to be. Because you guys seen last night, right? You guys seen last night. Uh, I need to do God's will, not mine. My will ain't right. You know, PG's way ain't right, isn't the right way. God's way is the right way. But sometimes, you know, I fall short. I fall short too. I'm just human, right? Everybody falls short. Absolutely. You know, so, you know, it is what it is. I probably shouldn't have lost my temper last night, but I did. And, but I think I did it for a damn good reason. Innocent people do not need to be attacked. Innocent people don't need to be attacked like that. But I know I was on to something last night. You know, whenever you're on to something, whenever you're on to the truth, those evil people pop up like that, trying to get you off course, right? They want to get you off course. And I took note that right when all of that started to go down, Candace was outside the basement door on the screen, a picture of her outside the basement door looking straight up at Grandis's camper. That shows that they're a damn liar. No one could have got anywhere near that area without them seeing it. No one. No way in hell anybody came up there. I have to agree with Ronnie Lawson. No signs of an abduction. I have to agree with Ronnie Lawson. You know, absolutely. And like he said, there's no signs of an abduction. Basically, what he's saying is bullshit. He's calling bullshit. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I wish Ronnie was on this case instead of Pruitt. I think if Ronnie was really on the case, it would already be solved. That's my personal opinion. You know, that's my personal opinion. Um, yeah, enough is enough. Exactly. Beautiful sunflower. Exactly. enough is enough. You know, um, if I wasn't a human being that worries about other people all the time, actually, I worry about others more than I worry about myself. I always have, right? I always have. Um, that could be a blessing or a curse, but I've always cared about others more than I do myself. And, you know, if I wasn't like that, I probably wouldn't care. But I do care. I do care about innocent humans being attacked, right? I do care about, I care about everyone, not someone, everyone. I want everybody's life to be good, right? If everybody was like PG, if everybody was like me, it would be heaven on earth, right? Because we would just all be loving one another. We'd all be caring about one another. We'd all be helping one another, right? We'd be good people. We'd be good people. We would we would be looking on the inside of one another instead of the outside, right? Because that's all that counts. That's all that counts. I don't care what people look like on the outside. If the inside isn't good, none of it's good, right? None of it's good. So, with that being said, you know, all my kids in here, my grandkids, my great grandkids, um,
God, PG, you ain't even that old.
I'm going to tell you something. You want me to come over there? You don't want me to come over there, girl. Absolutely. You better be listening to your mama, your grandma, your great grandma right here. You better be quiet. You hear her? You hear this? You hear this child up here on my panel giving me some lip? Shh. She better be good.
Yeah, mute my mic.
Don't make me come over there, girl. Don't make me come over there. But yeah, I'm going to tell you something. All my children in here, all my sisters, all my brothers, all my aunts, uncles, I don't know, whatever, you know, whatever the day to day thinks y'all are. Um, each and every one of y'all, I'm going to tell you what, like I just told Lisa, don't make me come over there. You guys better be good. You better be good. Be on your best behavior, right? Be on your best behavior.
You don't have to drive all the way to Arkansas for that one.
That's right, blue-eyed dumplings. Tell them, PG mommy. Absolutely. See, dear, that's my daughter. Y'all better be good. Y'all better be good. You ain't good. I ain't giving you time out. I ain't giving y'all time out. I tell you what, I believe in throwing you over my lap, right? I believe in throwing you over my lap and giving you your backside, some wearing out. You, I don't know if you'll be sitting or standing, but you sure be thinking about not doing whatever you've been doing again. Right? You guys better be good. The Bible says, spare the rod, spoil the child. I ain't trying to spoil y'all. Right? I ain't trying to spoil you. So you
We
guys,
already got full to the panel.
I tell you, man, I tell you what, girl, it takes a lot keeping up with all you kids. It
I
takes a
know
lot,
it.
you know. I'm gonna tell you something. My old ass ain't got no. I'm gonna tell you something. I might be old. I might be like 100, but there ain't no dust on this ass. Ain't no dust on. Trust me. You guys knocking all the dust off of PG's ass, chasing you around. I gotta keep up with y'all. Ain't got time for no dust.
Oh, Daisy Hog over there can't even hardly. I'm trying to figure this out in my mind, right? Well, Daisy weighs 1,000 pounds, okay? I'm still trying to figure out how Jinkies fits in her car.
Beautiful sunflower's telling on one of the other kids. She said, "Blue-eyed dumpling needs soap, PG. She tells stories."
I'm trying to figure this out. How Jinkies
I gotta be,
in her car.
listen, y'all, listen. I gotta be good to Blue-eyed dumpling. She's one of my favorites. She's mommy's favorite. Oh Lord. She said you all need a whooping. You guys try and get her a whooping. She said you need that whooping. Oh, that's so sweet. She said I love my mama PG. See, there you go. How could you whoop a sweet child like that? All right. Always heard that they step on, they step on their toes when they're little, and they step on your heart when they get older, right? They step on your heart.
Yep.
I got good kids. I got good kids. They ain't stepping on my heart, right?
Hey, and I need to learn how to behave in chat, okay?
How do you learn to behave in chat?
I have learned how to behave in chat.
I think all of my kids are pretty good in chat. I think
yes, but I had to learn how to behave in chat.
I'm going to tell you something. Beautiful Sunflower, Molly, I got a lot of favorite kids in here. I look at that chat and I tell you what, right when I'm about to get serious, I look at that chat and I promise you I cannot, I can't be serious no more. They say the funniest stuff in there. It cracks me up. It cracks me up. I know one night I was really trying to be serious and I just couldn't. And once I got to laughing, there was no bringing it back. I went out of here laughing. Sometimes they say things and I think my kids think I'm crazy because we'll be riding down the road or I'll be, cleaning, washing dishes, and all of a sudden I just start cracking up laughing, and they're like, "What you laughing about? What you laughing about?" And I can't tell them. I can't repeat what's in the chat, right? Nothing. Hey, like, I don't know if you should go in there. I really, as they pass one of the other kids, I don't know if you should go in there. I don't know if she's okay or not. Right?
So all they got to do is just go in the room, pull up YouTube, go to your channel, and read the chat.
Oh no, they know better than that. Let me tell you, we're not a social media family. My kids they don't have Facebooks or any of that stuff. Social media is not part of my household. Absolutely not. They do have game machines and stuff like that, but I don't let them out here in the social media. Hell no. Nope, not today. Not ever. I hope they don't ever get into social media, right? Not a good thing. good
They'd
thing.
be like everybody else, be watching YouTube.
I like my kids, you know, being normal. I like them to, you know, I like them to get exercise and everything. I like them to live. I like them to live just an everyday normal life. I like the fact that they, you know, spend a lot of time outside. We spend a lot of time going places. We spend a lot of time, a lot of family time. You know what I'm saying? When I sit down at the table, right? When we sit down for lunch or dinner, breakfast, um, I don't hear phones going off. I don't, you know, they're not looking at some damn tablet. They're not doing these things, you know. That they actually, we actually eat. We hold conversation. You know, we laugh. It's nice. It's nice, and I like to keep it that way as long as I can. As long as I can keep it that way, I'd like to keep it that way. I know, I know that the phones are going to come in the future. I know, you know, and and I'm just going to enjoy a normal life without, you know, somebody's nose being stuck into some social media um, type thing. I don't like that. I mean, I try to stay away. I try to stay away from the computer as much as possible. I try to stay away from it. My job requires me. My job requires me to be at a computer um, and on the phone a lot during the day. But once I get off, once I clock out, man, I'm gonna tell you something. Hell no, hell no. I'm gone. You know, I'm gone. And then I do get back on it, you know, I do get back on it to research for these missing kids. I do get back on it to make, you know, to put content and stuff together and to come in here for the lives and everything. But I really try my best to spend as much quality time with my kids as I can, you know, and doing other things. Um, and that's why I can't wait for summer to be found. I can't wait for summer to be found also because I like to just get back to a normal life, right? I want
Exactly.
a normal life. And so, you know, I pray really hard that she is found very soon and justice gets served on her behalf. Um,
Oh, we all do.
and we just got to keep praying. We just got to keep praying, right? I think prayer is the answer to everything. You know, without God, man, they'd be nothing, right? There'd be nothing. There'd be no us, period, if it wasn't for God. And we have to seek God, you know, to get the answers to what happened to this baby. We got to seek God to figure out, you know, where she's at. We got to seek God to lighten someone's heart to come forth and tell what went down where Summer's concerned. We just have to keep praying that someone can't live, that someone cannot live with whatever went down on their conscience anymore, right? That's what we got to pray for. I pray for someone to please step forth and tell what happened to this baby. She didn't deserve this, right? They need to clear their conscience and just please, you know, help this little girl to be brought home and justice to be served, right? That's what I pray for. And I
Well, if the Wiz would tell the truth, you know, they were the ones that come out here to YouTube, wanting people to help them find Summer and to keep Summer's face out there and stuff like that, you know. And then they get up on YouTube and they play games on YouTube. You know, it's like Summer is a toy to them. Everything that happened in Summer.
Blue-eyed dumplings in the chat. I got a drinking problem. I know right now you like that country music. Absolutely.
But PG is like summer
I
is
be
like a
singing,
joy
I
to
be
them.
singing,
It's something to play with.
prop me up beside the jukebox.
Jukebox, if I
I want to go to heaven, but I don't want to go tonight. All right. See, girl, I got to get out of here before I do get, before I get rowdy, right? Before I get rowdy. All my rowdy friends have settled down. All right. All right, girl. I got to get out of here. It's been a beautiful night. It's been a beautiful night. And
It's
thank
been peaceful.
God we have not been terrorized, right? Terrorized by the freaking evil flying monkeys. Um, you know, as you know, someone commented earlier, if you take note, we're on, somebody else was on, and we ain't had no issues. So, you know, um, I know why we ain't having no issues, right? I know why we ain't having no issues because people
Uh-huh.
can't afford to give you any right now. Right? They can't afford to give you none. So, that sure brings peace to the valley, right? That brings peace to the valley. All right, you guys. I'm heading out of here. Hey, Lisa, I appreciate you coming up, spending some time with me, girl.
All right.
Make sure you be good. Make sure you be good.
Okay. In the next chat I'm in, I'll be good too
That
because
was
I learned how to be.
burnt.
I
That was
had to learn how to behave in chat.
Lisa. That was the wrong answer. You supposed to say, PG, I'm good all the time.
That's right. I am good all the time.
There you go, girl. There you go. See,
Uh-oh, Pam's calling.
see, these are good children right here. Good children. Good children. You know, that's the
Seeing
kind.
how you caused Pam to call.
I caused her to call. don't
Yeah.
blame don't blame that on me. Don't blame that. Yeah, it was a good show tonight, and I appreciate each and everybody that was here. I appreciate everyone that was supporting the channel tonight. I appreciate my mods. I know I don't say it enough, but I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I do know how much you put in to keeping this chat in line, especially when we get the haters in here. So I know all that you're putting in to helping out Summer's channel, and I so appreciate it. God bless and much love.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hop off of here so I can go join the conversation.
Amen. We're going to head out of here now. Throw those hearts up, those purple hearts up in the chat, and show Summer some love tonight as we go out of here. Please make sure that you continue to pray for this beautiful little girl who needs to be brought home, who needs to be found, and who needs justice against these evil humans that caused her to disappear the way she has. Please send those prayers up for this little baby. Send the prayers up. I know through through Jesus Christ, we get to God's ears. That's how it works. You got to pray in the name of Jesus in order to reach God. You cannot get to God but by his son. So make sure when you fold your hands, you bow your head and you pray for this little girl that you say, I pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Please, Lord, let this little girl be found. We need her found. She needs to be found. This is not a want. This is a need. Her brothers need closure. We all need her found. We all need the answers to what happened to her. Please let us have them answers because he's the only one able to do that. And we got to let God know how much we appreciate everything he does for us. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Pray for one another. So many people needing prayer. Please keep beautiful Sunflower on your prayer list. Keep Miss Norway on your prayer list. Keep each and every person in this chat who truly loves Summer, truly is a voice for these missing children. Please keep them in your prayer list. Pray for these one another. A family that prays together stays together, and we are a family. We are a family out here. This community is a family. It's a circle of love, kindness, caring for not only one for the missing children, but it's also a family and love for one another. We actually love one another. Believe it or not, we are bonded. Whether we like it or not, we are bonded as one by these children. And we were bonded together by God because He's the one that put us here. God don't ever put your feet anywhere that they're not supposed to be. Amen. Listen, everybody, send the love up for Summer. God bless. Good night. Much love.